and I will tell you all about them as we go. But since the campaign hasn't started, I can't tell you about the items that we're going to create. However, what I can tell you about is one I've done in the past. The character that had that item was a fighter with a soldier background, and he was given a sword for outstanding service by his commanding officer. The sword had been in his family for generations, but since he had no heir, he decided to pass it on to this player character. At first it was just a mundane but very well made and highly ornamental longsword. Its magic was awakened when the character hit 5th level and then got his first critical strike. At that point it became a +1 magical longsword. That character then wrote to his commanding officer asking about the history of the sword. Eventually word got back to him that this sword had kind of a storied past, and had been passed down through generations of military fathers and sons. The next stage of evolution came at level 11, when the character got another critical strike after hitting level 11. His commanding officer told the player character that they were still doing more research on the item, but it's possible to unlock the next stage by spending 24 hours in vigil with the weapon. So the player character spent 24 hours silently bonding with this weapon. No food, no water. And in so doing, he unlocked the flaming heart of the weapon. This upgraded the weapon to a +2 longsword, and unlocked the ability to set the blade aflame and inflict an additional 1d6 fire damage with each strike. And he was able to do this for up to a minute a day. Around level 15 or 16, he got a letter from his commanding officer where he'd found an ancient ritual in his family's history books. I don't remember all the details, but he had to collect blood from an enemy in order to perform the final ritual. What I didn't tell him is the state of mind his character was in when he collected that blood would determine the final outcome. Performing the ritual and using the blood, he was able to finally evolve the weapon into its final form. The versions he didn't get were Crimson's Peaceful Heart and Crimson's Resolute Heart, which would have maintained their longsword appearance. But because he was so angry when he collected that blood from his enemy, it became Crimson's Furious Heart, and turned into a greatsword. And the abilities of this legendary weapon were increasing walking speed by 10 feet, doing an additional 2d6 fire damage per hit, and does double damage to structures and doors. It could also shed bright light up to 60 feet and dim light another 30 feet, and gave him resistance to fire and cold damage. In addition to this, if he scored a critical hit against an enemy, he could push them up to 10 feet in any direction. This was opposed by a DC 19 strength save. So for the future items, I'll probably have 4 evolutions instead of just 3. And I doubt they'll all pick weapons of some sort. What ideas might you have about what kind of evolutions other items could go through? Let me know in the comments.